Hello and welcome to the webinar. My name is Ken Ivey, and I want to encourage you right now to feel free to take screenshots of things that interest you. We'll also try and make available these slides later. So they may be a link below this video right now, especially if you're watching the replay, or we may send you an email if you have signed up for the live webinar. All right, so let's get going. A couple of things, let's take care of some housekeeping first. This is a hybrid webinar. Most webinars are either live or pre-recorded. In this case, the Chamber wanted to try something new, so this part of it is pre-recorded, which allows us a little flexibility on the programming and stuff. But it's also live in the sense that I'm right here with you watching, and as you submit questions during the live portion of the video, I will be answering them in real time if time allows. So if you've got questions, use the question box below, and we'll see if we can answer it during the webinar. Also, after this video, my contact info will be available on the resources document, so you can ask questions later, or if you think maybe the answer would be too long to include in the webinar. Feedback. You're going to be asked to give some feedback on this, so you'll get a survey in your email. Please fill it out and tell us if you'd like to see other webinar content, like how to create videos or how to optimize videos, or anything that we don't cover here today that you'd like to see. Upcoming webinars next month will be Google Analytics, and then in January, chatbots. So that should be fun. And then again, the resource links are going to be either below the video right now as you're watching it, or it could be emailed to you later. So there'll be a document with all the links of all the things I talk about or the examples we give. My contact info is also going to be on that page, so feel free to email questions about anything that we don't cover or that you'd like to see. All right, with that, let's get started. This webinar was inspired by your feedback from a recent Lunch and Learn. We took those suggestions and tried to address them here. Note, on time, we have the same situation. We don't have enough time to cover every single thing or go very deep into everything. But I'm willing to talk about your specific questions or your situation. Just use my contact info to ask anything of that nature. Since you can use videos for just about everything: customer service, marketing, recruitment, SEO. Let's talk about what we hope to learn today, and that's where to publish videos, the types of videos you can publish, what to create, video promotion tips, and then how to measure success. Where to publish. Where you publish really makes a difference. We'll talk about the different types of videos and where to publish them for the best impact. We've listed a few here, but there are several places you can publish a video. So for self-hosting videos, now that's a video that lives on your website. It's not on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. It's taking up space and resources on your server. Self-hosting your videos is important if you want more control over the user experience and don't want to rely on a hosting site. For instance, if you're using video to promote your product or service, especially on a sales page or something like that, you don't want the viewer's attention drawn away by YouTube's related videos, which are played at the end of the embedded video. You may also wish to restrict player control so they don't click away to the video hosting site instead of watching it where they need to be, which is on your website. YouTube. It's the #1 video hosting website and can bring a lot of exposure to your videos. The service is ubiquitous, and many apps are available which make it easy to create and publish videos. They also have really good analytics, so you can track how well your video performs. Facebook. If your target market spends a lot of time on Facebook, it makes sense to publish here. Facebook also has some easy and simplistic promotion tools, and you can get even deeper with audience selection, stuff like that. Personally, I don't spend a lot of money on Facebook because I feel if I've invested my time and money to get people to follow my page, I shouldn't have to pay again and again for them to see my content. Facebook is a good starting platform, though, for attracting new clients and migrating them from Facebook to other processes over which I have more control. So it's not altogether a pain in my butt. I don't much like it, but it does serve a purpose. Instagram. Almost anywhere I suggest posting to Facebook, you can also post to Instagram if the video content is brief, because they do have limits on how long a video will play on Instagram. Snapchat. This content typically goes away pretty soon, so use it for simple things like reminders or ads. It's fun. I believe they have some changes in store here pretty soon, so it's worth keeping an eye on. But it's not really for mission critical information. Enough said. LinkedIn. Okay, so you can post videos and status updates or publisher. Because LinkedIn's timeline is a really busy place, you need a video that's designed to stand out and command attention. That means focusing on highly relevant topics and short, engaging content, because there's a time limit. It's also the place on LinkedIn that provides the most reach. That's the timeline. LinkedIn's publisher, on the other hand, is the place where you can have in-depth and long-form content. It's a feature that helps separate it from the pack of other social media platforms and promotes its more professional nature. Okay, so let's talk about different types of video. And we'll talk about what to publish and where. Some of the slides have examples of chamber member websites that are good examples of this, or would be good places for these types of videos. All of the links that I'm about to show you will be available in the resources document, so you can click through to those at your own leisure. Okay, demo videos. Showcase how your product works, and it can be something physical, like a product, or it could be a service. Seek Careers has a great demo of the client experience, so let me go ahead and click to that. This is on their homepage, and watching this video, they do a really good job of walking through how I, as a viewer of this video, might be treated as I go through their process of finding employment for me. I found it very compelling and comforting from the standpoint of the viewer. Now, I'm not looking for work. I'm just saying they got a really good video. Okay, the other example was Canteen. Let me go ahead and click through to them. This video is kind of a background video to their homepage, but it's muted and it showcases how their service works, which is kind of cool. I thought that was cool that they would have that as a backdrop. And the longer you watch it, the longer you see. This is what they do for your business. They can set up this place where employees come to get all this stuff, and you can see everybody interacting and stuff like that. It's kind of ingenious, actually. I really like that. Now remember, if you're posting these types of videos on LinkedIn and not your website, remember the video time limit. If it's more than a minute, use the publisher tool, and LinkedIn will create a post that links to that. Okay, back to our slides. So those are demo videos. Kind of shows you what they do. And brand videos. They're typically part of a bigger campaign and higher level type of thing. And basically I tell people this type of video should tell your organization's story and should try to answer the question, why? Why do you do what you do? Why should I do business with you? Those types of things. And so the best place to put those type of things is Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course your website. The Blind Horse created a video. Let me click on it here. It's not really a branding video per se. In fact, I don't think they made it to create that, but it does a really good job of showing what they do, how they do it, and the customer experience, which in this case really is their brand. So I'm classifying that as a branding video, and it's a pretty good one. Let's go back. Next up, event videos. Many times you can use an event video to create a series of separate video snippets, which are good for social media sharing and promoting different services or even future events. If you do like an annual conference or something like that, You can use video from previous conferences to promote your future conferences. And so showing people having fun, getting together, if that's the kind of thing that you guys do, is kind of a cool thing. Expert interviews. Interviews can personalize your staff in the eyes of the viewer and foster that know, like, and trust effect that I talk about. And sometimes it'll prompt people to take the next step. So if you've got key people in your organization who are willing, it's a good idea to get them on camera to talk about the stuff they know. And it just, again, builds that know, like, and trust. And you can post them on YouTube, LinkedIn, and your website. How-to videos. There's lots of different kinds of these, but they basically teach somebody how to do something or teach something what they need to know about your business and the process, maybe even a sales process. This company here, Asphalt Seal and Repair, let's go ahead and take a look. They post actual video of paving repairs, and while that may not initially be something that you would say, oh yeah, let me watch this video on paving. If you're in the market for paving, let's say I'm a general contractor and I'm looking for a reliable subcontractor to do the parking lot, then looking at these videos, the way they do it, they show the repairs and they also explain in those videos why they're better than most of their competitors, because they take the extra steps and they basically do the job right. That's the message that's conveyed in their videos, and I thought that was pretty cool. Oops, I think I skipped one. Yep, that's explainer. Okay, we did that. We did that. No. Sorry, let me go back here. That's the last one, how to. Okay, let's go to explainer. They show people why they need your service, and typically will tell a little mini story using your core buyer persona, the problem they're facing, and how they solve it is all in this video. It's a little story. So typically they have animated characters or maybe a sketch type video to tell a story, and they convey concepts and ideas quickly. The good thing is you don't have to hire actors, which can save you money on video production. And they're great for Facebook, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. Case study videos. You probably have seen a million of these and maybe haven't even realized it. They show you solving a problem with your service, and sometimes they feature your client base, and that's great. So whether you're prioritizing posting to Facebook or LinkedIn, kind of depends on your target market. Business to business, probably LinkedIn. Business to consumer, probably Facebook. These member examples I'm about to show do a great job of positioning the subject of the video into an industry leader status by showing respected colleagues in their fields. Let's pull up Drexel. This video here shows some subcontractors or contractors who buy materials from Drexel, and they talk about the great service they get there. While at Just Orthodontics, they're showing local dentists speak about why they refer their patients to Just Orthodontics. That's a really excellent strategy, and you should try and emulate that in your business. Live videos. Okay, so everybody knows what live video. You've probably seen them, but very few people do them. But live videos get special consideration from YouTube and Facebook. Both platforms promote your content for free at the time of the live stream, and with YouTube, even before the event, if you schedule a live stream in advance. You've probably seen those little notifications come up, so-and-so is live. Live stream interviews, presentations, and events encourage viewers to comment with questions. So during your stream, you have that interaction. And they talk about it right here. You get higher engagement rates. People spend 8.1 times longer with live video than with your typical video they might find elsewhere. So great way to maximize the bang for your buck on video creation. Personalized messages. So there are a couple of different ways to do this. One of our chamber members, Grace, has a video that I view as a personalized message. Let me pull that up real quick. So right here, this is Natalie, and she's talking about how she got started, why she created this store, and it's a really well done video, and it speaks to the viewer. It's like she's there talking to me personally. Very well done. So if you get a chance, click through to that and watch that video. This is a great thing for you to do for your business or organization. Now, another personalized video I use all the time is something that quickly explains something specific visually, and then I send it off in an email. It usually answers a question, like somebody has a question about a particular thing, and I think I'll show an example of that later. But when publishing that type of video, answering a personalized question to an individual client or something, in addition to publishing the video as unlisted, you'll also want to untick the notify subscribers option, so you don't send a personal video to everyone who subscribes to you. All right, so we've covered the most common types of videos. Let's wrap up this section by acknowledging that 360-degree videos, virtual reality, augmented reality videos, yeah, they do exist. But it's a little early for the average Joe to incorporate these into a practical everyday strategy. So we'll save them for a future webinar if demand exists for it. All right, moving along. What to create. So now that we know some different types of videos and where they might perform best, what do we create? Where can we get lots of ideas that will resonate with viewers? Let's talk about some of those. Your inbox. I was talking about this a minute ago. Sometimes you can get great ideas right from there. In my line of work, I get this question all the time. Ken, how do I clear my browser cache? So repeat questions like this are great for how-to or explainer videos that you can post on your FAQ page. Or in my case, typically if they're asking something particular to their website, I'll go ahead and go to their website and do a screen video of that and then email it right to them. Great way to communicate, and nothing gets lost in the translation. Speaking of FAQ pages, if you haven't already, you can create videos for each of the questions in your FAQ page. Our library's website has a ton of FAQs, you can see right here, which would make excellent videos. Also consider the questions people should be asking. That's the SAQ. Because a lot of times clients or customers or visitors don't know what they don't know, so they should be asking some certain questions. Create videos for those as well. Sites like Yahoo Answers, you can search for general questions on this type of website and create videos that answer them. These videos can then be shared and embedded on your website, and you know that they're real things that real customers, clients, and patients want to know, and creating a video for them might also help you in the search engines. So it's a good idea and a good place to get great ideas for videos that people are really wanting to see. Misconceptions. That's kind of a popular thing because a lot of times people are wondering, well, I think I like this idea, but I'm not sure about it. So creating articles and videos about these topics will proactively overcome those lingering objections in the viewer's mind. They're great for high-dollar items or important services because buyers typically do a lot of online research prior to an investment. And if they hear any kind of negative thing about a certain service or product, they're going to search for it. So here's a way to get ideas about that thing. Google misconceptions about whatever it is you do, and then look for ideas from those search results. Also, you can just ask people. if you're kind of empty as far as ideas for what kind of content to create a survey for the existing clients and ask them, what's your biggest challenge with this or that, or what works for you, or what's going on. It can be a great idea to find out really what your clients or maybe even employees really want or like about your company or service, and use that feedback to create videos to attract new clients or employees. For instance, if your clients come back on the survey and they say, we really, really like the way you do this, then you can create a video that highlights that particular thing. And if it resonates with everybody who's already done business with you, it's likely to resonate with future people. So, good way to get great ideas from people who have already spent money with you. This one is one of my favorites. So, you find best-selling books on Amazon on your topic of interest. Let's say like saving for college or saving for retirement. Find a popular book on that topic and then use the Look Inside feature and do a screen grab of the book's table of contents. And this is going to give you some great ideas that are likely to resonate with your intended audience. So you could go through, let's say, 2 or 3 of the most popular books or who are on the list right now, and create videos for those particular topics, and then wait a month, and then next month find out the books that are popular at that point. So this is a recurring way to come up with great ideas for content. And it's popular because they're bestsellers. Google it. So Google your keyword and other things for more ideas. So what we see here is Google suggests, I've said it before, it bears repeating. Google suggests, which is what you see working right here, is a great way to find what people are searching for because only popular terms are displayed. So creating content based on this premise is something that too few people take advantage of. And if you optimize your content, you can get really good exposure in the search engines just by typing in a few words and your keyword. It'll see different variations on that same or very close topics. Behind the scenes. Okay, these can be fun, and they show off your culture. They're well suited for recruitment because while money is important, the company culture or experience can be equally, if not more important, to attracting and keeping talent. So creating a video that demonstrates why someone would enjoy working here is kind of a cool thing. Also, on different types of videos, using outtakes is a great way to grab attention in other types of videos. Especially if it makes you laugh. And these are the things that people love to share. So using outtakes is kind of a variation on the behind the scenes thing. It shows that you're human. It shows that you have a sense of amusement. And it's just kind of a way to connect where you may not have connected on a standard video. All right, this one I love. One does not simply promote a video. This was from feedback from the Lunch and Learn On video, and I found it so funny I had to make it a meme. Now I don't know if the person commenting was looking for an in-depth strategy for a corporate video campaign, something like that would be beyond the scope of this webinar, or maybe just more ideas for video promotion. So if you're watching right now and you left this comment, feel free to email me if what I'm about to share doesn't cover it. That said, I'll share some things that work really well for me. I put them all on one slide so you can take a screenshot for review later. I'm sure you're going to find a nugget or two that you hadn't really thought about before. And I don't really go into paid promotion here. Maybe that's something for another webinar. All of the strategies I'm about to share are totally free and they work. So let's get started there. Video promotion tips. Smile for your video thumbnail. It sounds basic. So the ones on this side are probably going to be like basic things that maybe you already do or maybe somebody's told you to do, but they're important enough that I'm going to remind you to do them here. The ones on the other ones may be a little more advanced. So let's cover that. So smiling for your thumbnail. People are more likely to play your video if there's a smiling human on that thumbnail. So that's why you see smiling people in magazine ads. Number 2, make the first 3 to 10 seconds a really good hook. And that's because people are scrolling through their social media sites, and they may or may not stop on your video. But if you can grab their attention in the very first few seconds, you might keep it enough for them to either play the video or to watch the video all the way throughout. Number 3, monitor analytics to see what type of videos resonate. Looking at your numbers reveals the best performing videos. So see what works and do that more. I know that sounds very simple, but you'd be amazed at how many people don't do that. If you're just getting started, you don't have any videos, then share other people's videos on your social media to see which get more engagement, and then create videos like those. Number 4, think about SEO, search engine optimization. I say that because videos and topics that get searched are going to be more popular. So using that as a tool, you can optimize your videos. For example, your title, your description, the tags you use for your video, hashtags, even the content itself. If you include those search terms in there somewhere, people may find your video in Google and then be drawn to your website or landing page because of what they saw. Number 5, ask people to share. A lot of people don't do this. It seems obvious, but you need to ask, preferably inside your video. Statistics show that people share more if they're asked. We've got to tell people what we want them to do. 6, syndicate your video to other platforms. Now, even though a video may perform best on one platform, don't stop there. Having your video on multiple hosting platforms may increase their exposure. And if you've got your video on one site, that's great. But if you've got your video on 12 sites, there's a much bigger chance it'll get more exposure. And so you want to try that. I know that can get tedious, but there are ways to automate that process. Number 7, pin your important videos to the top of social media. Now, some social media platforms allow you to pin posts, so make sure those important ones are pinned to the top to increase exposure. All right, let's talk about the maybe the more advanced ones, or ones you probably haven't thought about. Number 1, I thought about renaming this another way, but make YouTube and Facebook recommend your video. Now, what do I mean by that? If you research popular topics and keywords and optimize your video with similar tags and hashtags and stuff, kind of like the SEO thing I was talking about before, your video sharing platform was more likely to recommend your video. Now, this doesn't cost you a dime. Additionally, the next few tips we talk about may prompt them to promote your video for free, and that can be huge. So the next tip is create a launch campaign that builds anticipation. Here, we want to take advantage of video algorithms that boost your reach with what I call perceived popularity. You can emulate the effect of a viral video by inducing several video views over the course of the first few hours of a video's life. Promoting your video prior to actually publishing it can create these views for you. If you can get lots of views right after the launch, this may trigger YouTube and other platforms to actually promote your video on their home page or feature yours as a related video. And as you know, you've seen, those recommendations are very weighty, and you can get a ton of traffic real quick if it's done right. The next one, backlink your videos from bookmarking sites. So this kind of ties into those other two. Typically, videos are popular for only a couple of days, so you can increase their stamina with backlinks from popular sites like StumbleUpon, Reddit, Delicious, Dig. Asking your base to bookmark your video, especially after a launch campaign, can extend the effect of free platform promotion, and also builds SEO value for your video. So these sites use their algorithms to say, okay, if so many people are watching this video in this amount of time, it must be a pretty good video. So they're going to help promote that for free. Also, if you start getting links to your website from other websites and bookmarking sites, that's just another trigger for them to say, okay, this must be a pretty popular video. We really want to make sure that this stays at the top of our search algorithm for a while. And in doing that, you're going to get a lot more exposure for your video. Okay, so the next one, engage in the comments section. This could have been one of those that everybody already knows or does, but I see it time after time where somebody will leave a comment on a YouTube channel or something like that, and it just sits there. Nobody comes back to them. So engage in the comments. And in fact, even after you post a video, go ahead and make a comment yourself. It shows that you're responsive to your market, and it could open up opportunities for leads or maybe some new video ideas. Number 5, share your FAQ video to forums if it answers a question. And we talked about going to like Yahoo Answers and looking for questions and stuff. That's also a great place to troll, I guess, for questions. And if you get questions related to your business and industry, you can answer them yourself with one of your videos, which kind of boosts you as an expert in your field. Answering those forum questions is really a simple thing to do, especially if you've already created the video. So you just go there and you say, here's how we addressed it, and you share that link. Easy peasy. Number 6, case studies. Pardon me. And you see I've got a bunch of exclamation points there. And that's because they're one of the most powerful video types and will create social proof. And what I mean by that is everybody loves you and the viewer should too. Or everybody trusts you and the viewer should too. So if that person is also giving the testimonial in your video, then they're also pretty likely to share your video, meaning more exposure. So if somebody writes you a letter or posts on your social media saying, hey, I had a great experience with them, invite them to be part of a video. And you know that if they're willing, they're also going to share that with whoever they're in touch with. All right, collaborate with others. It can be a powerful one if used correctly. Collaboration or maybe a joint venture project, will put your video in front of your partner's audience too, and this can be especially beneficial if their tribe, so to speak, is larger than yours. So find a business, maybe even a competitor, but certainly someone who is in the same type of business as you. Let's say, I don't know, if you're in the banking industry and your place of business doesn't do mortgage loans or whatever. Hook up with another person who does that kind of thing. You folks get together, create a video, and you're going to share it to all of the people who follow you. So you might get some new business from this other person's tribe. It's a great way to get a lot of exposure and not have to pay for it. Number 8, consider broadcasting live videos. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but live video gets a big boost with those free notifications. You've seen it on Facebook, so-and-so is going live, same thing for YouTube. Live videos get way more search engine love. I've experimented with creating a live video event in YouTube and getting the event page ranked number 1 in the search results, even though the video was scheduled for 50 years in the future. It's crazy. They really like, and they will give you help in the search engines for doing live video. I'm sure YouTube's going to tighten that up a little bit, but still, it's a great strategy. So building that anticipation for a video, making a live video event in something like YouTube is a great way to achieve that with not much work. Okay, so those are the video promotion tips. Hopefully I've given you something that you hadn't thought about before. And like I say, if I haven't covered something here that maybe you want to talk about, shoot me an email or something like that, and I'll see if I can do that in a future video, or maybe I'll just do a real quick one just for you. All right, measuring success. Now that we know what to create, where to publish, and how to promote it, this is how we're going to decide if it's all been worth it. So we set goals. There's lots of different kinds of goals. Some could be brand awareness, engagement, conversions. I like to think of it with the book Highly Effective People, The 7 Habits. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. So where do you want to be at the end of this video? What do you want it to do for you? And then kind of work backwards from there. Metrics. Okay, well, everybody's familiar with metrics, especially view count. I got so many views on my video, and so that, sometimes that's where it ends. But understanding metrics will equip you to define and measure your success and set goals. When you post a video, it's easy to get obsessed with just views. And while that can be important, there may be others that are more relevant to your campaign. So we'll discuss a few of those things that you might track when you publish videos. View count. Okay, so that's the number of times your video has been viewed, also referred to as reach. It's important to remember that every platform measures it a little bit differently. For example, a view on YouTube is 30 seconds, while a view on Facebook is only 3 seconds. Also keep in mind, some of these terms we're about to do may be called something else depending on the publishing platform or management tool you use. They all basically mean the same thing though. Play rate. The percentage of people who played your video divided by the number of impressions it received. So how many people actually played it? And use the example of scrolling through your timeline. You'll see a video and it'll go through. So I saw the video slide through my timeline, but I didn't click on it, so I really didn't play it. One of the best ways to increase your play rate is to create an attention-grabbing video thumbnail graphic or an opening sequence. Social sharing and comments. If a viewer watches your video and takes the time to share it, they probably like your content. So they're really good indicators of how relevant your content is with your target audience. If you're not getting shares and you're not getting likes and stuff like that, it probably really didn't do much good. So try and watch those metrics, and if you get one that gets a lot of good sharing and comments, then create more kind of like that. Video completions. This is the number of times a video is played in its entirety. Now you took the time to make a video, you want people to watch the whole thing. In reality, sometimes that doesn't happen. So in this YouTube analytics example, none of those videos counted as completions in the last month. Of course, this is an old snapshot and they're old videos. So they wouldn't get the same love that new videos would get. But that's watching it all the way through to the end. Completion rate is the number of people who watched your entire video divided by the number of people who played it. Do you have a low completion rate? Like in that last example. Are people all dropping off at a certain point in the video? That might be a sign that your content is not resonating with the target audience. And you can take a look, especially if it's a certain point that you're dropping off. You can take a look at that and see what happened there and maybe restructure your content or go in a completely different direction to get better results next time. Click-through rate. That's the number of times a call to action is clicked divided by the number of times it's viewed. Okay? So it's a good indicator if people are going to take action or not. It's similar to play rate, but instead measures clicks to a nearby call to action. Maybe not on the video itself, but things that are near your video sales letter or maybe a newsletter subscription. Conversion rate is the number of times visitors completed the action divided by the number of clicks on your call to action. So it's similar again to a click-through, but this metric only measures complete actions like sign-ups or sales. In this example, if the button gets 100 clicks and 50 continue on to become sales, your conversion rate is 50%. bounce rate and time on page, it's not really a video metric, but it can be an indicator of the effectiveness of video content versus other content, and that would be on a page on your website. So if you've got a page on your website that's getting a really bad bounce rate, people are hitting it and bouncing off really quick, you may be able to fix that by restructuring your content and maybe adding a video. And so that's kind of a way to judge whether that's working or not. Okay, so if all of this stuff sounds like mumbo jumbo, or if you want to see how some of these things tie together, I'm going to share a link to this great article on KPI for video. They do a really good job of covering this stuff. Just a note, some of the tools mentioned here are more suited for larger companies with full marketing departments and the associated budget. But basic ideas like analytics are things anyone can use. So I'll put a link to this article in the resources document and hope you'll read it later. But they talk about stuff like the analytics, YouTube, Google Analytics, consumer surveys. Oops, I just click back to there we go. Awareness, key performance indicators, consideration, action. These are different ways to talk about some of the things we just talked about here. So take a minute, look at that article, and I think you'll be happy you did. I was asked to share some real-world costs for video production. And as you can imagine, the right answer is, it depends. These are some realistic ranges for video services that can be found in our area. For simple brand videos or case study videos, typically you can find that done for $1,500, $3,500, where complex can be $5,000 or more. If you're going to do a TV commercial, basically they price that by the 30-second spot. So something like that can be $1,000 or $10,000. It really just does depend. Depends a little bit on what you want and if you know what you want. Explainer videos, and those are ones that use the little like cartoon characters and stuff. Simple ones can be as low as $400 up to $750, and then custom characters and stuff, which kind of display maybe a caricature of somebody that is at your work, or maybe custom images, $750 to $2,000. Demos, events, how-to, stuff like that. Typically that's stuff you do yourself, and there are a lot of free tools that will allow you to do that thing, and some paid tools that will help you do a better job at that. But those things you do yourself, in most cases. Okay, so we've covered a lot of basic information here. Where to publish things, the types of video content, what to create and why. Video promotion tips, and how to measure success. I hope you're walking away with at least a few things that you can implement in your video marketing. If you want to see more detailed explanations of anything we've talked about, or tools I use to syndicate or promote videos, or anything that we may have missed that you really wanted to see, let us know in the Chamber survey that will be emailed to you very soon. Or feel free to contact me directly. My info is going to be in that resources document. I'll be hanging around for a few minutes if you want to ask any more questions live online. Otherwise, thanks for coming, and have a great rest of the day. All right, so if you've got any questions, pop them in the box below. Or if you don't want to do it now, then feel free to contact me using the information on the resources document. Thanks for coming.